probably could have went neutral there, not giving the guy any opportunity on top to ride us, but more amount more. But at the same time, we got to be able to get on the bottom. Got to be able to get on the bottom when big matches like that. And then, oh, didn't see you there, guys. You got to stop sneaking up on me like this. Well, actually, this is probably a perfect time for you guys to get here because I'm just reflecting a little bit on the state tournament. You know, we just got done with the state tournament, and we ended up having 6 qualifiers and also a state placer. So one of our guys got 4th, which is awesome. So, you know, as a coach, you always reflect and you always look at different things and decide, you know, where you might have failed your kids as a coach. And if a coach ever, I think, is like, oh yeah, I do a perfect job and, you know, I don't make any mistakes, then he's lying to himself and he's lying to everybody else. So, yeah, I'm constantly doing evaluations and making sure that I go back and look at things and decide if I made the right decision or not. And at some point, you know, you have to just go ahead and leave yourself alone because you could go back and forth forever. But it's important to do self-inventory and think about things and admit when you made a mistake or you might have failed at that. So that brings me to this Turner Talk, and it's going to be about failure. So failure is a very important thing, and a lot of people fear it, and for good reason. I mean, it sucks to fail. Nobody likes to be a failure. Nobody likes to fail at different things. So I'm going to clear up a couple things today and give you guys a couple talking points. Today I'm going to talk about how failure is a lesson, and failure can be also an opportunity and a barrier. So let's jump right into it. So failure is a lesson. To me, failure and lesson are synonymous, right? There's an old saying that says you either win or you learn. And that's how it should be for you. Like when you win, that's great. You feel really good inside. You get that great feeling. In wrestling, you get your hand raised, the crowd's pumped up, cheers for you, all that kind of stuff. But you should also understand the other side. And when you lose, it should be a lesson for you. When you fail, it should be a lesson for you. And every time you fail, it should make you that much smarter or that much better because you got another lesson. In regards to wrestling, whenever you're watching your film, you shouldn't be really watching the matches that you've won because, yeah, sure, it's cool to look back on the good stuff, but at the same time, you will learn so much more and your time will be so much better served looking at the matches that you lost because those are the things that you really need to correct. Obviously, those are the things that can lead you to ultimately fail and lose a match rather than go ahead and get that victory. So when you're looking at film, you definitely got to look at your losses and your failures and learn from those. So failures are lessons. Failures are lessons. Like obviously your plan or the way you went about things didn't work. And so you failed to reach your goal or you failed to succeed there. So yeah, failures are lessons. Next is failure is also an opportunity. So you have an opportunity to learn. You have an opportunity to get better. You have an opportunity to let that failure elevate you to the next level. Okay. You also have an opportunity to let that failure break you. Let that failure cause so much and instill so much fear in you that you're scared now to put in 100%. A lot of people are scared to put in 100% anyway because when you put in 100%, then you have no excuses. And it really sucks to lose and or fail when you don't make any excuses for yourself. That's the worst pain you'll ever feel. I talk about it all the time. I'll go back to my national finals match, man. I lost that thing and stepped off the mat, went behind the bleachers to cry and stuff, and was like, man, this sucks. There's no way to that I can go. I just wish I could go back and get back in there. But there's not. It's over. It's gone. You know, you blew that opportunity. You failed. And you have to deal with that. But the cool thing is that you don't know the future. And you don't know what's going to happen. And you got to understand that failure is part of your journey. And everything you do is part of your journey, whether you perceive it as good or you perceive it as bad. And if you have a positive attitude about it and continue to let it propel you to do better, then it will. Then it will. And on the flip side, if you don't have a positive attitude about it, you let it break you, you let it make you negative, then it'll also crush you. So failure is an amazing opportunity. And you have to make sure that you stay positive, and you have to make sure, like obviously you're not going to be fired up about it. Oh, I failed, sweet, cool. No, and that's the catch-22, kind of the conundrum there. Like, yeah, I have to be positive and understand that failure is good, and it's a lesson, and it's something that can help you be more successful in the future. But at the same time, you can't get comfortable losing, comfortable failing, right? You can't be like cool with it, like, yeah, cool, I failed. So it's kind of a conundrum there. And the last thing is failure can also be a barrier. Like we just talked about, some people when they fail, they allow it to instill so much fear in them that they never go 100% again because they don't want to feel that kind of pain again. And that's when it can become a barrier. And also, it's a barrier to entry. The people that are the most successful are the people that have failed the most. And every time they fail, they learn from it. They keep a positive attitude. They learn from it. They get better. And so that dude at the top of the podium, or that dude that's the CEO or whatever, he's failed a lot. You know, that girl that's at the top of the podium, she's failed a lot. And so you got to understand that. But she's allowed that failure to elevate her instead of crush her. So that's what you have to do. You have to understand that a failure is just a lesson and an opportunity to get better. And if you do allow it to get better, then it won't be a barrier anymore for you. But it is a barrier to entry of success. And there's no way you're going to get to the upper echelon, the top rung, if you don't fail. A couple examples. Think of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has this famous quote where he says, like, I've missed over 9,000 shots. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. And I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I'm successful. So he's allowed those failures to elevate him instead of crush him. He's taken that opportunity and learned from them, and they're not a barrier for his success, right? Another example, wrestling example, Dan Gable. Dan Gable is synonymous with wrestling, and if you think about Gable's story, like, he was undefeated all through college. I think he was 117-1, and he lost his last college match. Like, you never lost and then you lose your last match in the national finals. Like, how crushing would that be? And if he didn't kind of have the kind of character that he has, and if he didn't have the kind of work ethic he has, then it would have crushed him. It would have completely crushed him. So, and I'm sure it did crush him, but he rebuilt himself, and he allowed himself to be rebuilt better. He learned from it, and he got better. And he talks about it in one of his interviews I was looking at, where he talks about how that failure and that loss helped to elevate him to new heights, because then he went on to win the 72 Olympic Games in Munich at 68 kilos without getting scored on. He wrestled 6 matches and didn't give up a point, Olympic champ. So I don't know if that would have happened if he would have won that last match his senior year. He wouldn't have been as hungry. He wouldn't have had that dog in him as much. And that's what you need to let failures do. You need to let failures elevate you and make you more hungry for the next time. And remember that, and take those with you into the practice room or wherever you're at. Take those with you. And so, and remember that pain, and fully experience that pain, and don't try to shut it out. Remember that pain for the next time. And whenever you're thinking about missing a rep, or whenever you're thinking about taking a break, remember that pain and decide if that break or that missing that rep is worth having that pain again. Because that's what you're putting yourself in position for. And the crazy part about it, and the crazy part about life and everything, is that even if you go in 100%, even if you give your all, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be successful either. You still may fail, even given 100%. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with taking the risk and going all in to give yourself an opportunity to be successful. Because if you don't go all in, you definitely won't be successful. And you'll be left with excuses. And sure, if you have excuses, I guess maybe that helps numb it a little bit for some people. I don't know, because that's not how I operate. I go into things and go 100%, and I don't leave excuses on the table for myself. Like, if I win and succeed, then I succeed. If I fail, then I fail. So that's the lesson for you guys today. Turner Talk 13, lucky number 13, and that's failure. And make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, appreciate you guys.